Sir, good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
We are from EC department. I am Shivteja. Just we gone through your guest lecture. It was very fascinating, sir.
Thank you.
We have some of the questions regarding to that guest lecture. That's why we came here to sort out them.
Okay, sure.
Sir, overall 32 years of your experience, what are the major changes you experience in the manufacturing and industrial engineering sectors?
Okay, so if you look at how manufacturing used to happen in the 90s versus how it happens today, if we compare that, the basics have not changed at all. Okay, if you take a lathe remains a lathe, or if you take a milling machine remains a milling machine. What has changed is in the 90s, it was probably operated by an operator, whereas today there are advanced control systems, advanced CNC techniques that have got built up into the machines, and these machines have now become more automated machines. Okay, so basically now an operator probably only loads the program into the machine controller, and he probably only loads the job onto the machine. Rest all the machine controller takes care of itself, and the job comes out as a finished product. Okay, so that's the basic change I would say that has happened over the last 20-30 years. And these things are progressing at a very fast pace. Newer machines, earlier we used to have 2-axis machines, 3-axis machines, now we have 5-axis machines. It is nothing but the same old machining technology, but with the new controllers, new age controllers, now you have control over various areas of machining that we do. Okay, so it's basically become more and more automated. Now it's not from the perspective of making the manpower redundant, but from a perspective of having a consistency in the quality output and the speed of output. Okay, so that's what basically is bringing in these changes. Okay, yeah, thanks.
Sir, how does Daikin support employee learning and development?
Okay, so probably if you recall what I said in the lecture, as a industry, we do not expect the colleges or universities to make you industry ready, because each industry's requirement is different. Okay, and obviously universities cannot cater to each industry's requirement. So what we expect is that you be ready with your fundamentals. Your fundamentals are important. Okay, and then to make, if you are fundamentally you are okay, then we will ensure that we make you industry ready. When I say industry ready, what we do is we have a lot of training opportunities given to employees after they join us. We have internal training programs running across the company, and then we mold you into whatever is required for your job, whatever is required from the organization's perspective. That training and that activity we will definitely take up internally, and that's a ongoing process. It continues throughout your career. As long as you are employed with Daikin, you would on a regular basis go through different training programs, different learning opportunities, and you become more and more capable to deliver your job requirements. Okay.
So, as you are involved in India's first magnetic bearing centrifugal compressor and in integrating IoT, so can you just give an brief overview on what is magnetic bearing centrifugal and how it is going to, how Industry 4 is going to change the manufacturing industry?
Okay. So basically, magnetic bearing compressor is a compressor where the bearings that keep the shaft rotating are magnetically enabled. So what happens is, because of the magnetic field, the shaft actually floats within the bearings. So there is no physical contact whatsoever with any surface for the shaft. So there are multiple electromagnets across the bearing surface which keep the shaft in a floating conditions all along when it is running, and then the motor as usual runs the shaft. Okay, so this is basically magnetic bearing compressor. Now the benefit of this is, since it is not touching any surface, the frictional losses in the bearings come to 0. That is one part of it, but more important part of it is that there is no lubrication requirements. So no oil is required in the compressor, because if you really look at the way compressors operate, we actually don't need the oil for the process. We need the oil only to ensure that the bearings are lubricated. So technically oil is not a necessity, okay, but to run the compressor it becomes necessity, and along with that a lot of other issues of lubrication, other oil related oil management issues come up, and the technology becomes, or the compressor overall equipment becomes quite complicated. So by eliminating oil, the equipment is far more simple. Its efficiency, as I said, has improved because there is no friction. So that is the basic benefit of a magnetic bearing compressor. Okay, so that compressor was developed about 4 years back, and in India, and it is running even now. A lot of it's in mass production also, so it's running in the field also. Now as far as industry 4 is concerned, the basic benefits of industry 4 is improving the efficiency of operations. Okay, when I say efficiency of operations, it is that you have now better control over processes, you have better understanding of processes, you get to know what is happening on the shop floor well in time, or live information is available onto your desktops, and based on that now you can take better decisions which are driven based on the data that is coming from the machines. Okay, so the decision making process has now become more of data oriented and data based decision making. So it is more of a estimation based on data rather than depending on guesswork or depending on assumptions. So that is another benefit of IoT or industry 4.0. Okay, so these are the basic benefits of industry 4.
Every company faces some challenges while regarding to implement new technologies, right? What are the major challenges faced while implementing new technologies in traditional industries?
See, IoT or industry 4.0 is something which started about 10 years back. Now at that point of time, the challenges were far different than what we are considering as challenges today. Their data collection used to happen over mobile networks or using internet service providers data. Availability of that network across the locations where we would want to probably collect data was a major challenge. Downtime of the networks used to be very high in those days. So getting the right amount of data or getting the complete data from the systems used to be a challenge. Then even if the data which is coming in, whether that is the correct data or some garbage data also has flown in. So those kind of challenges were also there. So those challenges were different. Today's challenges are slightly different. Now we have robust service providers, robust internet systems. Now challenges are to devise algorithms that are really beneficial from a business perspective. So how a business, or what actually the business needs, and devising algorithms and using that data to deliver the business needs are now becoming more and more challenging. More and more complex requirements are coming in. So that would be probably what now the challenges are.
Sir, in your journey, maybe you have might faced some obstacles or challenges. What is the major challenge you have faced while setting up a building up the factors, and how did you overcome that?
Okay. Challenges obviously are many. I don't know which one to pick up as the major challenge and which one was important. But all I can say is without challenges and without obstacles, you don't learn anything. Okay. You learn from your experiences, you learn from what or your failures also, to that extent I would say. The more you fail, I would say that the more you learn out of it, and if you are not failing, everything is going as per your requirement, then probably you are not doing adequate things. Okay, only when you fail you realize that you have learned something and you have done a mistake. So failures and obstacles and those challenges are regular, and I give this example to my team members also always, that if there is no challenge, if there is no real difficulty in doing certain things, then none of us are required in a company. Okay, if things are happening automatically, then what is our role there? Okay, our role is basically to handle these challenges and sort out these challenges. Okay, so challenges will always be there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Finally, what kind of message do you want to give it to the upcoming engineers?
First and foremost, and this is something which I would say that I also have a daughter who is also an engineer, and I tell this to her also. First and foremost is hard work is something which you should never let go, because only hard work brings you success. First thing. Second thing which I told you in the lecture also, ensure that your fundamentals are clear, ensure that your basics are solid, you have a solid foundation, and you would definitely succeed in your life. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.